Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are about ready to go with Speed Gaming, or Speed Gaming Live. Now, as far as this goes, this is going to be a pretty quick one with Super Mario Land, with Retroverse being our runner. I'm definitely excited for that. It's going to be a very good run. That being said, we do have several donations, or we do have several incentives. Just a reminder, we do have the big tournament golf incentive coming in here soon. So definitely getting your money if you do want to see that, or to name or choose which character you want us to play at Spirit of Man. Anyways, looks like we are about ready to go, so I'll pass this over to Retroverse.
Hi everyone, I'm Retroverse. Today I'm going to be running Super Mario Land, followed by Felix the Cat for Game Boy. Suppose we won't waste any time, and we'll go ahead and get started. So 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so Super Mario Land. Many of you probably played this on your Game Boys, as it was a launch title for the Game Boy, or maybe you didn't play the Game Boy, but you've heard of this game. This is a very early style Mario game. It kind of looks like, a retro, kind of original Mario game, but there are some key differences that are going to set this apart, and mostly that's going to be the physics. There's very strange falling speeds, there's very strange stopping speeds, and there's a very unusual momentum changes that are going to happen throughout while you're playing this game, and often they're not to your benefit. So what we're going to try to do is obviously avoid enemies, and you're going to see on that pyramid I just jumped off of how if I bonk into a wall, it's going to severely reduce the amount of speed that I'm going to jump to the side. So you're going to see later that there are jumps that require me to have full speed when I make them, or I'm not going to clear the jump and something bad's going to happen. Hopefully we won't be seeing that, but I'll try to point them out when we get to them. There's not a whole lot to talk about with, skill-intensive actions during World 1. This is kind of your introduction to the game. There are 4 worlds, each with 3 levels, so we got 12 levels total. And you'll really see the difficulty ramp up on 2-1. It kind of dies back down a little until World 3, where I think it's universally considered that World 3 is probably the hardest. Now, there was something very subtle that just happened here. When I jumped over the boss, I was still running, and I landed on the left side of the switch without hitting the door in front of Mario. So you're going to see right here how Mario ran instead of walked. So right here on this screen, Mario's going to run to Daisy instead of walking. It's one of the very niche time saves you can get after playing this game. You kind of get used to seeing it. There's a lot of RNG, however, in this run at the very top level, and it's going to come from this right here, the bonuses at the end of the bosses. So what we wanted to see was an X1 with no ladder. If you get a ladder, it'll actually waste more time, but an X1 is 1 life, and it's the fastest animation, and that's the important part. We're going to zoom through here. It's a pretty nerve-wracking level. I'm going to intentionally lose Big Mario there. I'm going to play it safe. Just avoid the fireball. A little low on lives, simply because we got the Fire Flower upgrade off the boss instead of lives. During the marathon setting, I'm very happy with getting X3s, just getting 3 lives, 3 lives, 3 lives, because it's just going to make me feel a bit more confident if I made a mistake, as opposed to a Fire Flower where that doesn't really help me if something goes wrong. In most cases, there's a very specific path on these levels, and being small in Big Mario, little glitch right here, it's actually fine. Being small in Big Mario is going to play a pretty significant role. You might, for example, there might be a 1 block, area that I have to run into, and if I'm Big Mario, I can't even get there. So, it really matters that you have the right power up at the right time. However, that was 2-2, not a whole lot going on. Got to demonstrate the little clip. It's strange because you'd think, when you fall down there, you die, but you actually, just land on an invisible platform. Alright, so 2-3. This is the final stage in World 2, and it is the one of the 2 shmup levels in this video game. In this one, we're going to be in a submarine, and the next one, we're going to be in a plane. Now, something to note, something important, is that I am playing on the Super Mario Land version 1.0, which means it was a launch copy of the game. It was the original release of the game. Any reprints or further batches of the games were higher versions, so 1.1, 1.2, etc. Generally, we just refer to it as 1.0 and then 1.1 because beyond 1.0, they're all identical. There's an important change from 1.0 to the others that they patched out, and you're going to see that on this level when I go for a trick a little later. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want to surprise you when we get there. However, the trick I'm going to go for can potentially save 2.3 seconds if I get it right, which we'll see. There's also a chance that this trick could go terribly wrong, but thankfully I've seasoned myself enough with it that worst case scenario, we just won't save as much time, but there shouldn't be any chance of you can actually potentially soft lock if you set up the trick wrong. So we're going to knock out these specific bricks, and we're going to wait, and we're going to hold back. So what happened is, if you're getting pushed off, unfortunately we didn't quite get the screen wrap and land on. Potentially we can land on the switch before it even appears, and we end the level immediately. However, what happens is when you're being pushed off the map in a 1.0 copy of the game on the shmup stages, if you hold back, you'll actually screen wrap instead of dying. That's something that they patched out in the 1.1 version, but that's a cool little trick that can then end up saving some time. X2, not bad. So because we didn't get to keep Big Mario, we're going to do a quick pit stop here. It would take a longer pit stop, maybe. So we're going to do a quick pit stop here and grab a mushroom, because we're going to need that mushroom for a trick up ahead called Spike Skip. And there are actually 3 Spike Skips, and we're going to see if we can get all of them. We'll see how many we can get. So we're going to do a quick safety there and land on the Koopa. Bad things can happen if you try to avoid the Koopa and then fail. So it's just safest to land on the Koopa and then continue. And here we go. We're approaching the first Spike Skip now, and we're going to wait for a visual cue from the Bullet Bill. And there's number 1. And now we're going to Spike Skip number 2. And we got it. And here's Spike Skip number 3. So that's, maybe not a perfect 3-1 because we died right at the beginning, but that was a very good 3-1. The Spike Skips are really important for time, and yeah, they save a ton of time. So here we are, we're going on to 3-2. 3-2 has a lot of creepy crawlies, and it's got what I like to call the the bit rate waterfall. You can see these waterfalls in the background, and if your bit rate isn't very high, it can make your stream turn real cruddy looking. So we're going to avoid these creepy crawlies, grab the mushroom, continue. We're actually going to do a small Spike Skip here. There we go. We jump over the second set of them too. We're going to go for a tight jump. We got it. Nice. And just like that, we're out of 3-2, and we're on to 3-3. So 3-3 is what we have called bun jumps, or platform skips, whatever you want to call them. It's very tight jumps. I'm not going to talk, but you'll see what I'm talking about right here. Oh, didn't get it. That's okay. We got a few lives to work with, but I really want to show this off. Didn't quite jump far enough. We'll try it one more time. So we're trying to skip these moving platforms is what it comes down to. And there are very tight jumps that we can do to be able to avoid them. And there's a second set of them coming up. There we go. Avoid the Kaizo block. There's a hidden Kaizo block down there that'll like to troll you. If you hit it, you basically just fall off the edge. Just like that, we're going to go through this rather stale section to the last boss, or to the third world boss. Got it. And there we go. We're saving Daisy once again, but surprise, surprise, it's not Daisy. That's also something unique about Mario Land. The worlds, are usually kind of recycled. There are totally unique worlds in this game, totally unique bosses, totally unique enemies. So this game's got a lot of interesting and unique features that you won't see again in other games. And, you know, it just kind of adds to the charm of it. I can't say that the controls are part of the charm, but you know, they're unique. So that's something. We'll go ahead and get our X1 here. Ideally, we'd be seeing a fire flower because I'm going to show you right here. These piranha plants, you know, we'd like to blast them and continue moving. Unfortunately, we didn't get the fire flower, so we had to wait. Not a big deal. We're going to just make some tight jumps through here to avoid the enemies, and we're going to try to do a star grab here. Let's see what happens. Nope. So, ideally what happens is when I go for that jump, I hit the bullet bill and then bounce back onto the platform, and then I'll do a jump off of the pipe and grab the star as it's falling. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but we're still going to grab the star and continue. Here we go. We're approaching the end of 4-1. Going to go through this rather hectic looking last section. We're going to lose our mushroom, not a big deal. We'll grab another one in the next stage. Oof. We'll go ahead and grab the mushroom again. Oh, there's no mushroom. Okay. Oh, right. We're later in the level. So I'm not too worried about my lives, but something you can also do, you'll notice there's a second door at the top of each of the end of these levels. And if you go into those, you get a bonus stage, just like at the end of a boss round. So if you needed more lives, which is a nice marathon safety, actually, you needed more lives, or you wanted to try to get a power-up or something, that's always available to you. In the marathon, or in a speedrun setting, obviously, we're not really going to be focused on that too much, but it's there. So I'm going to do an iframe through those piranha plants, make it through the second section. So it's actually pretty important that you make it through the first section quickly, because if you end up in the wrong place at the wrong time, that Goomba there at the end can hit you, and it'll take you out. So you have to get through it pretty precisely. And I'm going to do another Starflower area and race through the end here. This section is very difficult if you're trying to do it just regularly, especially in a casual playthrough. It's going to be a pretty hard section. And then just like that, we're through to 4-2, and we're on to the final stage. So we're racing through here. Alright, so now we're on to the final stage, the last shmup. There's actually, I wanted to bring it out. If you notice behind me in the glass case, I've got a Super Mario Land board game and a couple copies of the game. I also have a comic book from the Game Boy. It's like a Super Mario Game Boy comic, and it's got on the cover, it's got Mario in the plane. It's just something fun. I didn't pull it out to show off, but it's just kind of fun that they included that on the cover. There's not a whole lot interesting going on this stage. Something I would just recommend if you decide to pick this up, or maybe if you just want to play through it again, which something cool is that if you have a 3DS, this game is available on the 3DS Virtual Console, and interestingly, they did not include the patched version of this game. It is a version 1.0 of the game, so you can actually do the screen wrap glitch, which is it's unusual because normally when they release games on the Virtual Console and what have you, and most platforms for that matter, they include the most patched version, but they decided not to with that. But something I would recommend on any of these shmup stages is only shoot 2 shots, and then save your third one, because you can only have 3 shots on the screen. The issue is, if you're sitting too far to the left, you can potentially shoot all 3 of your shots, and then a bad guy comes out of nowhere and hits you, and then that's it. Where if you shoot 2 and you keep your third one, you have that, safety. But my controller seems to have stopped working. Ah! Got him! So there's another example of the screen wrap glitch that saves absolutely no time, but it's fun to show off. And just like that, we're getting close to the end of 4-3 and the end of this video game. We're going to try in one cycle to Tanga, who you might recognize from Mario Land 2. He's the last boss in the Space World or whatever. We're going to screen wrap glitch one more time and line ourselves up for the cloud. Take him out, and then here comes Tanga, and we're going to hope to take him out before he hits the top of the screen. We'll see if we can do it. Yeah, we got it. 1344. It's not bad at all. No, from what I understand, Super Mario Land is not patched on the 3DS, so you can do a full a full speed run technically. Yeah, that was the only change. There are some audio differences where there's some more bass in the 1.1 version, and I believe the 1.1 version fixed, and I didn't mention this during the run, but there's a chance that when you pick up a superstar in this game, there's an audio glitch. If that song ends at a particular moment when the music was playing before you picked up the star, it can actually just hard lock your game. It just locks up the game. Thankfully, we didn't see that, but that has happened. Anyway, yeah, so that was Super Mario Land. I'm going to go ahead and get set up for Felix the Cat. Thank you, everyone, for checking that out. And, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Sub 14, not bad.